Hi everyone, it's me Lina again. Welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you a lot for checking my videos out. And today in this video I'll be doing my makeup while telling you 10 facts about me. So let's just start. So I'm gonna start this video with a little skin preparation moment. And I'm gonna be using my Skin+Me products that I really like because they definitely prepare my skin for makeup really nicely. So I'll be doing 10 facts about me. It's rather get ready with me. It's not quite a makeup tutorial. Serum actually from Skin+Me. Basically I have a discount code for you that will give you like a huge discount and you can get your products from Skin+Me for £5. That would be the first month. And I mean £5, all those incredible products that really work. I think it's really a great opportunity and a great price. I absolutely adore their products. Actually, I think maybe one of the facts that I should mention about myself already is the fact that I have very sensitive skin. So recently I've been trying to improve it, not only by using Skin+Me products, but also I've been trying to have less hot showers, because I feel like that is something that kind of influence all that redness and reactiveness of my skin. I feel like it does make my skin way too, reactive, way too red. So I try to even have like colder showers. But as it comes to Skin+Me, it's just the reason I find their products so good is because they're personalized, and when you get your treatment prescribed, they look at your photos without makeup. They also ask you lots of questions, including some medical kind of related questions about your conditions, about your skin type, about what you want to get out of this program kind of, and all that is life-changing. No other brand does it, and even those new ones I noticed that are there, they're trying something like that, but it's still not quite like this. And I heard about Skin+Me for a while, but I'll be honest, before working with them I didn't got into like learning as much, so I didn't quite knew what it was about. I didn't realize that they're gonna help you this much. I didn't realize they're gonna go this deep into your personal skin's needs, but they do. Anyway, I think I'm gonna give it like a minute to get absorbed. And I also want to say that, the fact that my skin is this sensitive definitely doesn't help, and it definitely makes me very self-conscious. My skin is not that bad, but because it's so red, sometimes in this area, nose, here a lot. It's not as red usually on my forehead, by the way. It makes me very, I'm not comfortable to go, around without makeup, but it's getting better. And in fact, I noticed like for a month now that my skin have been so much better, feeling much better. And when I go to fancy, I don't wear makeup. I do only like here, like on my eyes and on my eyebrows, because I have permanent makeups that I'm trying to get rid of. So what I'm trying to say, that my skin is just bare usually, and sometimes it gets red even from the workout and because I'm wearing fancy mask. So next fact about me is that I don't smoke. So I tried smoking before, and even in the period when I kind of did, I would do it very irregular and just really a little bit. So I never really was a smoker, I would still say that. And I think it's cool, it's good, definitely good for health not to smoke. By the way, I have to mention that I'll be doing my extra makeup today, because I haven't done it in a while, and recently I've been looking at some photos on Facebook, and on one of them I'm wearing this makeup and I actually look so good. So this is why. So I'm using this moisturizer from Skin+Me. Gosh, my hair is everywhere. Maybe it's like, I don't know, the season of it falling off a little bit because it's summer, I don't know. It's really hot. It's been so hot lately. We've been using this fan that my husband bought like 2 years ago. Actually, I'm already spoiling some facts, but I just put my lenses in because I forgot to do it before applying my moisturizer. Oh well, it happens. And it's time for my sunscreen. I always apply sunscreen. SPF 50 is important, even if it's you know, London, and even if it's not sunny. So yeah. So next fact about me is that I absolutely love tea. I mean, I'm not sure if I can still say that I like it so much more than coffee, but I certainly used to like it more. And I used to like really strong black tea, not just like some green tea, you know, that is supposedly very good for you. But at some point I stopped drinking it for like a year. That is because this is when my real bad panic attacks and anxiety started, and I had to do it because caffeine makes you even more alerted, even more anxious, and to me it actually just made me, like, you know, have those panic attacks even more. But yeah, tea is rather cultural thing. I would say that lots of people in Ukraine drink tea. I start to assume that even more than in England. I have a big discount code for you for Skin+Me products. And again, I like them so much because they work for me and they are specifically chosen for me, and also they provide treatment that is something that's supposed to actually cure your skin. If you're not professional, you can't really tell, so you need someone who would guide you through that. So your treatment would come in something like this. It is my Instagram nickname, and this is actually my discount code that I'd like to share with you. So I'm having my second coffee. It is just I forgot the brand, to be fair. It's a cappuccino, but like just the one that you mix with water, basically hot water. And I want to say that I really like Earl Grey tea. It's one with bergamot as well as usual, we call it just black tea because it's dark one. Maybe I'll just make myself a cup of Earl Grey after having coffee. By the way, I recently purchased Earl Grey without caffeine for myself in Marks and Spencer. But the thing is that it's funny because I got so addicted to caffeine actually lately that I refused somehow in my mind to have Earl Grey that was without caffeine. So very childish, very... I should definitely avoid caffeine more. So I decided that I'm gonna use a bit of concealer under my BB cream, and that is to give myself even more coverage, because I really would like my makeup to be as perfect as it can be, because I'm making this extra one. So I'd like to hide these bits of redness. As I said, I think I have way less of it now, so it's not as bad anymore. And the next fact about me is that I absolutely love rain and rainy weather, especially when it is a warm season and, you know, for example, it's been hot for a while, for like a week or so, and then suddenly you get this rain and it makes you feel so much better. I don't know, this is how it makes me feel. And it definitely is such a romantic thing in my opinion. I love rainy weather, and I would say that I don't like cold rain necessarily. I like it like that, you know, when it's raining after being very hot, for example. So next fact about me is that I used to dance as a child and as a teenager, and I've been doing many different type of dancing. So I've been to different like dancing kind of, sometimes it would be just like a dancing club, I guess, but sometimes it was more like a dancing school, and eventually I did dancing school for a while, and it was more classic I just remember that we did classics, basics of ballet, and like even waltz. But the thing is that I remember that at that dancing school there were not many boys, it was mostly girls. I think at that school there were no boys, but before that I had been part of other dancing clubs, and in my school, in one of my first schools, I had like a dancing partner, and we were doing like, I don't know, I'm not sure if they're Latino American dances. Now I'm a bit confused to be fair, but something like that. Then I did hip hop for a while actually. I stopped doing dancing because I became a bit of a rebel, and I even kind of firstly I just encouraged one of my friends to join this dancing school with me, even though she didn't do it previously. So obviously she did one of the dancings with me just in school ages ago, but she didn't have as much experience. But eventually, I don't know, I think we just got into skating. Maybe, you know, we became teenagers, more into boys and stuff like that. I mean, really, I had to say it was kind of like that, and I just didn't want to do dancing anymore. Also, I didn't like the idea that it was so far away from my home. And, you know, when I just started, even when I was already 10, 12, sometimes my dad would, you know, walk me there, or my mom, or it was, you know, always something like that. But then I started going alone, or I would have some friend. I firstly had friend at the dancing one, then I, you know, kind of made one of my friends join it. It was like that. So next fact about me is that I have been to Italy, Greece, Germany, Turkey, France. Yeah, this is what I remember. Some of those places I've been like just for holidays, some more like just few days to see. Germany I haven't been properly there. Like one day we just went with like people I've been studying with in Poland, and also some of the like professors went because someone had to organize it because we just arrived. And then what else? Turkey I've been many times with my parents on holidays, and also actually mostly my mom and my brother because my dad would send us. And also I worked in Turkey like as a work experience. I forgot to put it on my nose, so oops. Next fact about me is that I have been to Greece, and not only I have been to it, but I actually worked in Greece. It was like a work experience that was quite curious, and I really was excited to go there. And honestly, I think Greece is a very beautiful place. Not like I've been to many parts of it, but I really liked it. I thought it was awesome, and I didn't want to leave it. At some point I was ready to do some job I wasn't really like gonna do there because like, yeah, I was so desperate to stay, and season was ending, and that hotel that I worked in was like closed. I'm not sure about closing, but they wouldn't have like work for me or anything. So I really like that place. Didn't want to come back. I like the climate. I actually brought a very tiny fan here, not the of a proper big one, because I just can't handle, and it's not really even hot today, but the heat is still here from previous days. So yeah, so I had like a work experience in few countries. It's not gonna be like one fact anymore, but to be fair, I feel like I'm going very slow with my facts, so actually too fast, what I was meant to say. So I feel like I'm gonna tell you all the facts before my makeup is done. So I have to say that I had like a work experience in Turkey as well. So Greece, Turkey. That is from my Ukrainian university. Then when I studied in Poland, I actually had work experience first in France and in Italy. And to be fair, one of the reasons I chose that university in Poland is because of advertisement of all the those kind of work experiences. So it was like an Erasmus program, but in France as well as Italy, I'm not sure, I think so. And yeah, but it was one where you not just study in other university where you get exchanged, it's more that you have a work experience. Yeah, both places are very beautiful, but in both of them, for example France and Italy, I just didn't like my work really there, I'll be honest. But the places themselves were really beautiful. And yeah, I just remember that one of them places in France was on my, how do you call it in English, board of dream board, you know, when you make like your dream board. And later I just seen, I didn't even pay attention where it was, but I just realized that it was on my board of visualization. It is board of visualization. So I'm making today extra makeup, so I'll be applying darker shade as well to my eyes, so like both different type of, not type, but different colors of eyeshadows to create more dramatic, I was gonna say drastic, but I don't think that's correct, but well. Next fact about me that is somehow related to Italy is that I used to love pizza. I mean, it's not that I used to love, it used to be my favorite meal as a child, since maybe the age of like 6, I would say. It used to be my favorite meal. Whenever someone would ask me something, I'm pizza, pizza, pizza. I still love pizza, to be fair. Pizza is actually very common in Ukraine, especially, you know, after a time like exactly around 6, I guess. So in general, Italian cuisine is very popular in Ukraine, even in smaller cities like mine. So it's not a town, it's actually a city, but I mean there are much bigger cities. So my point is that even in smaller ones, it just, Italian is probably one of the most popular cuisines. Italian, what else we like? Georgian is very popular. Japanese cuisine too. Like I started liking Japanese a while ago now, specifically Japanese. And I don't mean just sushi, by the way. My eyeliner is really getting like very dry because it's old now, and I'll see, maybe I'll have to unbox my new one, the exact one from Clinique. Because this one is so dry, it's already not black but grayish. Also, I curled my eyelashes so much that they stick to my eyelids and they mess my makeup when I'm wearing mascara, but I don't know what to do about it. It's visible in my previous YouTube video. This is my small fan, but we have like big one, but it's currently in bedroom, and to be fair, I would have to open that door and my husband's like on the call for work, and yeah, I don't want to put it here because it wouldn't make sense anyways. I did it when I was like home alone. Box my Clinique eyeliner with me. I hope it's still okay. I hope I didn't open it when I just got it, because I haven't been using it in a while, and you know, it's better not to open it before you like start to actually use it, because I mean it can dry out and stuff like that. So let's see, I hope it works, gonna work well. Actually it shouldn't be in that vint as well. It seemed to work well, yeah. My little trick that I learned from Online Makeup Academy when I was taking my course. I'm gonna add a bit of eyeshadow to my wings. This is one of those little tricks that this makeup requires. So you just, oh wow, I made a mess, but I'm gonna try to clean it up later. I feel like once I have those you know, permanent makeup that is kind of like a wings, it makes me difficult to wear super light makeup. And I'm actually gonna blend it as much as I can now, and maybe later when I have powder on. So next fact about me is that I can't properly ride a bike. As a child I never learned that, and as a child I had only the one with like, how many wheels were there? Is it 4? Isn't it? Or 3 is it? You know, one of them for little tiny children. I had that, and later on no one bought me like a proper one, and no one actually teach me how to tough me. Is it? Sorry, I forgot the. Well, you know what I mean. No one was teaching me how to ride it somehow. To be fair, my dad was a lot away. He had a business in Poland, and I don't know, my mom can ride bike, but I don't know, I guess she said it's not very, you know, it's not something she wanted to do. I don't think they necessarily like realized that. To be fair, they were young parents. I don't think they realized that they never really taught me how to ride the bike, and both of them can ride a bike. And later when I was, gosh, I don't know how old I was, maybe 20 when my brother, who's much younger than me, started teaching me how to ride a bike. He had a BMX, and I like it. I prefer that one because, oh my god, I'm all in powder. I prefer it because it's much shorter, less higher. And I actually kind of could ride that, but I still can't properly turn, and I fell once. I just remember we went to this stadium, there were lots of people, and I started to get a bit like embarrassed, I guess. Yeah, lots of guys, we have lots of foreign students in city where I'm from, and there were like lots of those people and it's just because there is such a huge amount of them, it's like it was a little embarrassing for me. Even though, yeah, I shouldn't have paid attention, and I fell. I just remember that it was a bit awkward. But yeah, it's a bit of my little thing. But I met other people who can't ride bike. In fact, one of my friends, I think she can't. So also my dad bought me like roller skatings. You know, the ones like a shoes with little wheels. What was I called? Roller skates? I don't know. Those. So yeah, I knew how to do that, but I didn't go anywhere much apart from our area, I'll be honest, but I could do that. It was crazy that my younger brother, who's 12 years younger than me, had to teach me how to ride a bicycle. It's a bit crazy situation, really, very unusual. And yeah, but you know, I feel like this video is gonna be more than 10 facts about me, so I'll just gonna, you know, jump on it on this wave, and I'm gonna share a few more things with you that I wasn't planning. For example, I also couldn't properly swim for ages, and also, again, both of my parents can, both of them, and my husband started teaching me that. But also before that, I know how to stay on the water, but if it's very deep in the ocean or sea, I can get panic. If it's swimming pool, I'm not as I don't panic. I don't really panic. Even if it's really deep, I won't panic, because I mean, I would manage to get to the border, to get out. So it's not like even before my husband started teaching me. So I wouldn't, by the way, it's a spoiler already. Oh well, I already spoiled. You realize that I'm married, right? But it was one of my facts, and I'm gonna mention it. But yeah, one of the facts was that I'm married. But anyways, my husband used to be like professional swimmer, and he was teaching me how to swim when we went in Lviv, it's in Ukraine. So he taught me quite a few things too, but even before that I could, like, I wouldn't necessarily drown, but once I was in Greece actually with few people that I worked with, and someone like was jokingly throwing or pushing us kind of to the waters, and I got scared so much I kind of jumped on one of them, and I was holding, actually girl, no, I jumped on few of them and I was just holding them, but you know, you can't do it, you can drown them as well, you know, right? That's what I learned. And oh yeah, when it's like that I can get very panicky, but really I can, you know, it's not like I completely can't swim, because I've been to seaside with my parents as a child. Yeah, it's not like I've never seen sea or anything like that. Put fan on because I just, the small one at least, I just can't handle. It's still so hot in the house. It's crazy, absolutely insane. So also I cannot drive, but that wasn't my fact. Also I'm just bringing it because I just can tell that I'm taking longer than I think I would with this makeup thing. Yeah, I never learned, and lots of my friends of my exact age, or there is a very small difference, they would learn, and I don't know, at that point I remember that I kind of had a fight with one of my best friends. Not a fight, it was something like we got very apart at that period, and some of them went another group, like small, two maybe of them, I'm not sure if they were together or not. And then there was this my friend, I think she went, and I never did. And I don't know, for stuff like that I always need someone. Like, I don't want to go alone, I would be nervous. Now I probably would, I wouldn't care. But yeah, I never learned. Even though my dad always was saying, you need to learn to drive, you need to learn to drive, blah blah blah. But also I'm the type of person, like, you know, who's gonna get me a car? I'll be honest, I'm like okay, I cannot afford a car. At some point I was like, so why should I learn to drive if I don't have a car? You know? And at some point in Ukraine, I would say cars were expensive. As a child, I remember my dad had few, but then he would sell them, yeah, it was always like, there was period when he didn't own a car, there was period when he did, two, so it was very, you know, not consistent when I was a child. Yeah, so yeah, I sometimes when I say that I can't drive, I feel like people assume that in Ukraine ladies don't drive, but it is not, so I guess it's obvious, really. I shouldn't even bring it up. It's just me, but then my husband says I shouldn't drive, that I would have this rage all the time. I don't know, I feel like I'm very careful too in some way person. Like in some things I'm really careful, like, you know, maybe there is something in it. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, my parents say, always said that I should. I don't know, there was always, at some point it wasn't my main priority. When I had kind of a good job also, I I don't know, I didn't care much about it. I was like, you know, to get a car it's just not enough, you need to also spend money on it, like, I don't know. And I was like, where would I go, you know? Recently I actually tried to ride a horse and I really enjoyed it. And yesterday I had this conversation with my husband, and he said that there was an actor who fell from horse and got paralyzed. I looked at the actor and I was like, oh my god, he was famous, he was attractive, why no one was taking better care of him? That's what I saw. That's what I said, I'll be honest. It sounds a bit ridiculous, obviously accidents happen, but I was like, what was that? I thought it was crazy. You really need to be careful with horse, because when you go to the parks, and this is where people actually go, apparently some of them, obviously if you live in London, I'm not sure actually how it goes, but yeah, lots of them do, I think. And you know, there are lots of bizarre people. Someone can stand behind that horse and do something crazy, something freaky really, and I mean, they get, you know, the horse is a prey, so it gets scared very easily. Last fact about me is that I'm married. I've been married for more than 3 years now. We got married in February, and my husband is Australian. He works in IT. Also, we met first time many years ago. Also, he's quite a bit older than me. So essentially, that were 10 facts about me, and even more. I added few things that I didn't plan to necessarily mention, but I thought they are related and you might be curious. But I'll think of something to tell you more about, because I feel like there are so much time left. So for example, I just realized one of the cuisine that I like is Portuguese. I never knew this about myself, and I'll be honest, it's not like I knew much about Portuguese cuisine, but apparently I like it. It's very random and something I wouldn't necessarily expect for myself. I have tried Mexican cuisine before in Poland, probably was the first time. Then I had it in Ukraine once later with my cousin actually. One of my favorite food chain restaurants in London is Nando's, which happen to have also Portuguese vibes. I heard there are some like African vibes as well. I also read some history about this like brand, this chain, in one of the restaurants in city center, and they mentioned Mozambique. And from my memory, what I know about Mozambique, unless I'm being wrong, I think they do speak Portuguese there, don't they? So very curious. I do like their sauces and stuff, and I do like the way they marinate chicken. And let's be honest, marinated chicken always tastes better than just like fried one, for example. So that's talking about food. I absolutely love French cuisine, and I like the bizarre scenes they sometimes offer when you don't know much about French cuisine and you start exploring it. Some of the things seem to be a bit different. Even some regular cheese seemed a bit different for me when I tried it. I obviously tried camembert before I went there, but some of the similar ones even were like so smelly to me at first, but then I wanted to try them again. I tried foie gras first time when I've been in France. So I have tried escargot first time in Ukraine, in the city I'm from, in this fancy restaurant. I went with my friend. I was around 24, 25, and yeah, I just remember it was a very funny day. We had this meal, and then we had like lots of different dishes there. And then we still continued our walk and our day, and then suddenly we decided that we want some, beer, which is, very huge drastic difference to what we had in that fancy restaurant. And we just bought the beer, we just bought some dried fish, which turned out not to be very good, from some very random shop. And it was very different because we came from the fancy restaurant to some very basic, very cheap food. But it was brilliant. There is always something we can talk about with that friend. I really admire people who can think out of the box. She's like that. She's very well educated in my opinion, but she also doesn't just close herself to some different thoughts, different opinions, and sometimes even when it comes to politics, she has quite different views on certain things, and I admire that. Sometimes I don't agree, and I'll be honest, I'm the type of person who get offended very easily. I try to work on it, and I try to also admire this open-mindedness of certain people. I was thinking, how about I'm gonna make my lips super like blend, super basic, because my eye makeup is quite heavy. It's not extra, but actually it's a bit extra. And maybe I can just add a little bit pigment to my lips that don't have much pigment in them actually. That's why I call them pale. So yeah, I feel like I'm definitely telling you a lot, and you're learning more than just 10 facts about me today. But I hope it's gonna let you kind of learn more about me, what I like, and maybe connect with me more. I want to connect with you because I feel like maybe you just don't get enough personalized content from me. Personalized is something I really like because it's just there for you. It's like Skin+Me. This is what I like about them, but honestly their products remind me of the Ukrainian brand I used to admire, and that is also one of the things, and I can feel that it works. Curly eyelashes drive me nuts, and you know what, in future I'll just be very careful how I lift my eyelashes, if I want to lift them, because maybe for me it's better to have straight eyelashes. But when my brother, he has more curly eyelashes, I noticed, and it's interesting, his hair doesn't seem to be curly, unless maybe a little. I don't think, no, it's not. It's quite straight, it's quite similar texture to mine. It's much darker, almost black, I'd say black. And yeah, both of my dad and my brother has very black hair. My dad has like super black hair, and as a child I wanted to have gosh, my lips, I applied too much thing. As a child I wanted to have black hair, but now I realize that brown one looks so much classier on me, at very least, and no way. I mean, to be fair, I might call it black because it's gonna be easy if my hair will start to get really gray. It would be easier for me to dye it black than brown. I feel like it's gonna cost lots of money if I want natural my color to call it, you know. It's those days they have people who are specialized professionals that are very good in color, whatever it's called. There are like a huge new field. It wasn't like that when I was a kid, because my mom is hairstylist. It's actual her education. Like she studied in I don't know if it's college, whatever it's called, something like that. So yeah, and my dad, he used to study to become a doctor, but he decided to drop. His whole family was shocked, really. I'll be honest, as someone who has masters, I think if you have opportunity, whether it's your knowledge, whether it's money you can pay for your education, I think it's good to have one. And I don't see, like, if you can have it, why would you not? Why would you not? So that's it. Finally I finished this makeup. To be fair, it was just too hot, maybe not the best day to do this type of videos, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was more interesting than just a regular video where I'm just doing my makeup and telling stories, you know, very random ones. I actually tried to kind of pick facts that you would be maybe curious about. So let me know what you think. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, don't forget to comment, and maybe there are scenes you'd like to hear more about. I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.